Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping today?
We are going to pop open a bottle of black pepper. Do you want to give me your first impressions, Meg?
Yeah, let me smell it again. It smells like pepper. I was really hoping if I smelled it again, I would have something more descriptive. I mean, it's spicy like pepper.
I love it. I think it smells delicious. I love black pepper to begin with, the herb spice. But I think it's a lot softer than the pink pepper smell, which we'll talk about down the road. Pink pepper feels very sharp to me, and this smells softer. I love the smell of black pepper. In fact, when I first opened the bottle, I was like, oh yes, this needs to be on absolutely everything.
It's so funny. So as a kid, I thought I was allergic. Now I'm a nutritionist. I know I was sensitive to black pepper. I've since grown out of that, but I feel like I still have this mental block with black pepper. And it's like, oh no, is it going to give me an asthma attack? And it doesn't. Like, clearly, I just took multiple big whiffs of it and it was fine.
And out of curiosity, when you were a kid, do you know if it was specifically black pepper versus white pepper and pink pepper as well?
No, I don't know for sure, but I think it was black pepper because it was things like pepper crusted steak.
Right.
The big one, a friend's mom made us tuna fish sandwiches and put like cracked pepper in it. And that was the scary episode. But
I'm sure that was scary for your friend's mom too.
I'm sure. Well, actually, no, we ate it on a bus because I was a soccer player and we were going to a tournament. And so it was scary for the coach. He was the one that was there and had to deal with it.
Oh, wow.
So,
and I've known you were sensitive to that. So even when you guys would come over and we would be preparing a meal for you, I feel like I was always cautious to the choice of what I was using spice-wise for things that I was preparing for you.
Yeah, and I totally appreciate that. But yeah, at this point, I have no reaction to black pepper. So I could eat it all day long, but I still always hesitate. I do love the flavor now, now that I eat it on stuff occasionally. I just don't add it to things very often. So.
Well, and it definitely does have a spicy flavor for people that don't like black pepper. My kids don't love fresh cracked pepper. And so they recognize if I've put it in there. I think the oil feels a little bit softer again somehow. Yeah. So I think as long as you're not overly heavy with how much you're adding to a recipe, it doesn't feel quite the same as the fresh cracked pepper, but yet you get the flavor of the pepper. So there's this really great roasted rainbow carrot recipe. You take rainbow carrots and you toss them with olive oil, and then you can mix it with a drop of black pepper and a drop of ginger essential oil, and then a little bit of salt. And it is delicious when it's roasted. I feel like it's just, again, a good pepper flavor without feeling quite so sharp as cracked pepper.
That sounds amazing, especially knowing that when carrots get hot, like they kind of caramelize, and so they have that caramely flavor, and then the richness of the pepper and the ginger, like my mouth is watering. That sounds amazing. Yeah. So that's going on the menu this week. Okay.
Yeah. And I think depending on how much you like black pepper, you could kind of play with how you want to add it to foods. We like it here, my husband and I. And so adding a drop feels reasonable to us. But I think for somebody that was unsure, they could always do the swirl on a toothpick. I know you said you've heard of people putting it in a coffee before. I wonder if it's a whole drop then or a swirl.
Yeah, and that's probably totally up to their personal taste preferences. But yeah, I know a few people who add it to their black coffee. Their coffee, maybe not black, I don't know about that part. But black pepper to their coffee. And yeah, they love the flavor, but also they do it because it's an amazing immune booster. It also helps with digestion. So it has a whole bunch of different additional benefits, not just flavor.
I love it. And I love that you can get the flavor part of it, but then all those additional health benefits as well. And then I know you have recommended it to other people for a different reason as well. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the biggest health benefit that I tend to talk about with this particular oil is smoking. And it is amazing at helping people quit smoking. From what I've read, it helps with a lot of different addictive things out there, but smoking is the one that I've heard about, and I know people who've had success with this. And so the recommendation is that you put a drop on the bottom of your big toe. And so the big toe actually connects directly with the brain. And of course, all addiction comes from the brain. There's other body parts that play into it, but the brain is a big one. And so being proactive, putting it on your big toe, multiple times a day really makes a difference. We were talking as well about how if you're in an office space where maybe people take breaks, smoke breaks regularly, it might be kind of weird to pull off your shoes and socks to put some oil on your big toe. But even then, the smell is pretty amazing at helping curb those cravings as well. So you could literally just open up the bottle and take a big whiff, and that would help curb the craving for a cigarette. Or wearing diffuser jewelry would be an even less obvious way to do it, as far as obvious to everybody else what you're doing. So yeah, there's a lot of studies that talk about how effective it is for quitting smoking, which is awesome, right? To have something natural like that.
Definitely.
To protect you. So,
well, and I'm picturing, either somebody smelling it or the diffuser jewelry, or even if they're allowed to diffuse in their office and diffusing the black pepper, and people coming towards them thinking that they're preparing some sort of good food and wanting to be near them because they smell the black pepper.
Yeah.
It's funny enough, some of the companion oils that are listed in one of the reference books that I have, it says that coriander and juniper berry are good companion oils. And I don't know if that's from an aromatherapy standpoint or from just a companion oil to, I know a lot of oils enhance other oils. Mm-hmm. So like juniper berry and black pepper, I think go really well together at enhancing each other. But from a aromatic standpoint, you think about diffusing coriander and, some of these other herbal oils at the same time as black pepper. It could smell like you've got a little kitchen thing going there.
Totally. Yeah. You just stepped into somebody's pantry.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The other thing I wanted to talk about this oil specifically is that it is a warming oil. So it is one that if you're going to put it on your skin, you probably want to dilute it. But then secondly, it's amazing for if you are really cold. So right now we're talking in January and I'm in Texas, and Texas winters are super weird. So this morning it was 24 degrees and like last week it was 80 degrees. But this would be a perfect day for me to rub some black pepper on my feet to help warm my body, but also it helps with circulation. So not only is it warming directly where you put it, but because it helps with circulation, that's warmth is circulating through your body. And so that can be really helpful as well.
Great idea. And I think that's where it comes in as a great massage oil too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And we both read recipes for like foot soaks or bath soaks with black pepper, which again, I never would have thought of before, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Just for that warmth and circulation. So it's a pretty diverse oil that I definitely don't feel like I use very often, but probably should use more often.
Yeah. And I think that it's one that's easy to have on hand, right? I mean, if you're using it in the kitchen and then you know that it has these other health benefits, that if you need it for something else, you've got it right there.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, anything else you want to say about black pepper?
No, I was really excited the first time I smelled it. It smelled so good.
I know. I love your reaction.
I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did the first time I smelled it.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Well, we hope you all have learned something new about black pepper today and that you pop open that bottle and start using it. Thanks you guys for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.